you and the members of Momentum not are politically similar, but you have the same outlook in politics in Europe. There's an obsession more with identity politics in certain parts of the country.
Do you know, I'm not quite sure what that means. You're going to have to tell me.
Well, what I mean is, when it comes to issues about minorities, etc., I mean, everyone knows a minority of some sort, but when it comes to racial or ethnic or religious minorities, when people are focusing on that in parts of the country where there are more racial or religious minorities, like in London and the South East, somewhere in Banff or somewhere in South Shields, they have no contact with Jewish people. They have very little contact with ethnic minority people. So the travails of them aren't part of their overall political view.
No, but I think I see where you're going now. The only place
they're more concerned with housing.
Yes, but they don't need to worry about any of the other stuff.
But the media and
yes, the right-wing media.
No.
Oh yes, mate. Of course it is. Because if I sat here, this is what identity politics means. It's fascinating, and I feel a bit sorry for you that you're the one that's rung in with this position today, because your friends in Banff who don't know any Jews, where are they getting the idea that too much attention is being paid towards ethnic minorities?
Because they watch the television.
Yeah, exactly.
They read the newspaper.
Exactly.
And
there are people telling them. There are people whispering in their ear. Look at all this attention that's being paid to the ethnic minorities. How does it affect the life of your friend in Banff who doesn't know any Jews? How does it affect their life?
Because it's not part of their daily experience dealing with the
no, but how does it affect their life? That if you will, that there are conversations about anti-Semitism happening in Westminster. How does it impact on the life of your friend in Banff?
Because it's diverting away from the issues.
No, it's not. There's nothing to stop them focusing on whatever they want to focus on, but they've chosen instead to listen to the voices telling them that the whole world is obsessed with ethnic minorities. Just back up a little bit. When you use the phrase identity politics, what do you mean? Because I haven't quite got to the bottom of this yet.
Well, what I mean by that is, and I'm a gay man, but I this obsession with a certain aspect of someone's personality or someone's personal identity.
But that obsession comes entirely from the right.
No, it doesn't.
It does. You've got a few. We're back to the students last week, aren't we? So you get a few people painting a wall in Manchester because it had a poem on it that they didn't like, and then suddenly, people like you are telling me we've had too much identity politics, and these snowflakes need to get over themselves. Mate, everyone who got their knickers in a twist about that was on the right of politics. Everyone. Except for a few dozen students who deserved and demanded the right to decorate their own communal space. You've really got to get over this, because it's going to cause you so many problems. Your friends in Banff who don't know any Jews are being told that the reason why their life is rubbish is because the political class is spending so much time obsessing about minorities. Off the top of your head, what's your best example, Greg, of the political class obsessing too much about minorities?
Well, as I say, every
just one really good example. That affects your friends in Banff who don't know any Jews.
The very fact that we're discussing...
that doesn't affect the life of your friends in Banff who don't know any Jews. The policy, the proposal, the idea that demonstrates too much attention is being paid to ethnic minorities, and it's damaging the existence of your friends in Banff who don't know any Jews.
Give me a second.
Go on then.
The very fact that we're discussing...
That's not an example. That's a repetition of what you said before.
No. Well, that's an example of
so your friends in Banff who don't know any Jews are listening to this programme and their life is being diminished because...
Listen.
I am listening. I think that's the problem here.
The discussion of... there's an example then. The discussion on Netanyahu and Israel.
Yes.
It's an interesting one. It's an important one. Like when in relation to the problems of... fishing to the people in Banff,
yes,
which is the most important and which gets the most focus on in the.
So you think the national news should be talking about the fishing community in Banff?
No, but no. You asked the reason why people.
No, I didn't. I asked how protecting the interests of minorities unduly was negatively impacting on your friends in Banff who don't know any Jews, and we both know there's a reason why you can't provide an example. There aren't any.
Because I'm saying that people are more interested in the generality of their lives than... I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing, it's human nature.
No, you are saying it's a bad thing because you use the word identity politics.
Well, what is that? If that's
which is the mistaken belief that people like your friends in Banff, and I'm afraid, Greg, people like you, are somehow suffering from the attention that is paid to minorities by the, quote, political class, or by the media. And of course, if you're far right, it's George Soros' fault, and if you're far left, it's all the fault of the Jews. And it's the mother of all red herrings. It's also a precursor of fascism. Why are they spending so much time looking after the minorities when they should be looking after me? Okay, what do you want us to look after with regard to you? And what did you say, Greg? Mate, like the best UKIPper of all? Fish. Come on, man. You're better than this.